What's up, YouTube viewers? I'm finally getting around to it. I'm going to make my first, or I'm making my first. God damn it! I've wanted to for a very long time. I just haven't gotten around to it. Always want to, and then time goes by, and I'm like, maybe later. Well, later has finally come, and at the right time, because today I want to go ahead and do a review on the new Aspire Atlantis sub-ohm tank, and figured I'd want to do it while the tank's still fresh on the market and popular, and maybe some people don't know enough about it yet, and I had the motivation to do it. And but before we get started, I want to say thank you to all my boys over at Avail Vapor in Greensboro, North Carolina. They gave me a killer deal on Black Friday, and I couldn't pass it up. So on Black Friday, I picked up my new Manhattan mod, black, solid copper, and the Atlantis sub-ohm tank, 0.5 ohms. And so far, I've been enjoying it. But like I said, thank you to Carrie, Jimmy, and Artie Buck. Yeah, so I'm wanting to do. I can tell you a few things that you don't already know about the tank. So they gave me a killer deal on Black Friday, and I'm just going to show you pretty much how everything comes. I'm probably not too interested in the mod, but I am. I mean, it's a great mod for the clone, but it comes in a pretty nice packaging. It's got a foam, really nice soft foam in there. But the Atlantis, I've already unboxed it, but this will be the case that it comes in. Not as fancy as the Nautilus or the Nautilus Mini, but still a pretty decent tank. I mean, case, so, or package. So you'll get a nice little, like us on YouTube, and on the back they give you another tank. They give you another replacement glass, and they give you motherfucker and another coil. So you won't see it from the back, but it's tucked away right there in the bottom. So don't throw your stuff away. You still have some other stuff in there. But before I put the coil in, I'll start off by showing you guys these are some gigantic coils. They're huge compared to all the other coils on the market. The Kangertech version 2 coils that they released, and put that coil right next to it. So if you look at the airflow hole for both and the size of the coil, it's huge. I mean, if I get right up on there, you can probably see how that vertical coil sits. So if I compare it to the regular BDC coils for the normal Aspire tanks, you're still looking at an enormous difference. And last but not least, the new Nautilus Mini coils. Still twice the size, easy. This tank, as far as airflow goes, best one I've ever hit from. There's been a couple eye clears that have pretty good airflow, but this hands down, I mean, besides moving up to a dripper, I mean, it's got the best airflow that I could ask for without modding it, which on my other setup I modded out myself, but I'll get to that later. Before I put it together, I wanted to show you guys a little trick for the Aspire tanks. I'm not sure if you guys all know this. The biggest complaint I've heard is when I fill it up, because it's a bottom fill, every time I turn it back over, I always have that air bubble. I can't get it all the way filled to the top. Well, I'm going to show you one little trick. It's always worked for me. It's never caused any problems to flooding or connecting or anything like that, or firing issues. But instead of screwing the coil into the base. Okay. Instead of screwing it in there and then filling it up and then putting it on, I take my coil, put it in there where it's normally going to screw into anyways. I don't know if you can see that, but I already got it somewhat filled up. But you go ahead and put it in there until it's nice and snug. Not too snug though. And then once you have that, you can go over that lip. And this is a trick that works on pretty much almost every Aspire tank that I've used. It works on the Atlantis. Sorry about that. My Xbox apparently thinks I wanted to play a video. But so since that's all the way screwed down, it's the same way how your tank would be with you screwing it into the base, putting it on, and then turning it upside down. It's not going to allow anything through there. So now since you've done that, I'm going to take my premium juice line, or the reserves from Avail, which is 80-20 blend of VG-PG. And this is that new holiday flavor they brought out called Nice, which is white chocolate and peppermint. Hands down my favorite flavor. Hence I went on there and tried to buy them all out. I got another one saved over there, so I'd still have some to give away as Christmas presents. But so let's go ahead and fill that up. Now I've been wanting to do a video for this trick for a long time. I just never got around to doing it. So, I mean, if you look where we are now, you're just a little bit past where you normally would never be able to go. So, let's just go a little bit higher. I could probably get more out of it if I wanted to. I'd pretty much go to the top of those bars, whatever you want to call them, and screw the top back down. Keep going until it's fully seated. Now, like I said, I could have gone a little bit more, but I mean, the only air bubble I have is that little one right there. So, with it all the way filled up, I have an air bubble on one side. But I mean, once it pretty much all settles to the top, nothing. All the way filled up. I know that is something that made me a little... fuck. So once I figured out this trick, I mean, it really eliminated every complaint that you would have with a bottom fill tank, that people say, oh, I like the Picamizer because you can fill it from the top, or whatever tank because you can fill it from the top, and I can get it completely filled. Same deal on these. Now you guys all have learned the trick to getting a tank filled all the way to the top. Now when you get the tank, it's not going to have this drip tip on it. It's going to have... Jesus Christ. It's going to have this one. Wide bore tip on it. Now, even though I still end up putting this other one on, I mean, there's a big difference between the one that I put on and the one that they give you. If you look at, this is the brass muffler tip, and that's the new one they give you. It's a big difference. It's at least 1.5 times the size, so I'll put that one on for the video. But when you get it out of the box, that's what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and get that screwed on. 18650 I got in there. But on the tank, they're going to have 4 different settings for airflow. Oh shit. Okay, that'll be your first hole. Okay, airflow. Still, probably in your average tank, you're going to get this airflow. But It's not what I did to the tank. This is all mod right here. So, friggin' pin moved on me. So, oh yeah, firing real quick. So, I believe this is a 3100 mAh battery, 20 amps. So, see, not bad. No, I'm not even hitting it that hard. But if you want to compare it to like the MVP version 2, well, on here I have the 1 ohm Kangertech version 2 coil on a ProTank Mini 3, or ProTank 3 Mini, whatever, Mini ProTank 3, with the adjustable valve that you can buy from Avail, or I haven't really found it at any other vape shop. I feel like more should carry them, but it's really cool for $5 from Kangertech themselves. You can buy this in the store. It'll come like this. I bought an extra one because I ended up drilling out mine, but you'll be able to put your ProTank 1, 2, or 3 onto this bad boy and make it variable airflow. Now it's not going to have different holes, it's just going to be that slit that's cut on the side, and it gets bigger, okay, right there, and then as you go, shit, I really suck at this. So pretty much you'll end up getting to the point to where you have nothing, but I'm getting off topic. So for the comparison, like I said though, I drilled mine out to where I just have a bigger hole than the one that they give you. Big difference. Now this is a modded tank, I mean slightly modified, but 1 ohm coil, bigger airflow, but I also didn't hit it this as hard as I hit that. So let's try to give a fair comparison. Also on hole size, they're a lot different on your first setting compared to what I have. But if you compare it to the one that they give you originally, you're looking at just under the same size. A lot better. Now let's go to the next one up. That's going to be your next one, which is going to be a little bit closer to what I've done. Well, no, it's not, but it is probably right about at the one that comes on the Kangertech adjustable valve. So let's give this one a try. Nice, dense, thick clouds. Already, just on your second setting, nothing else competes with it. I've had the Picamizer, the Nautilus Mini. I've even tried the regular Nautilus. I've tried a lot of different tanks, and I hate that I waited till now to make a video, but every tank that I've tried doesn't compete with this already on the second setting. Let's go to the next one. Now your next one is going to go from just a normal hole that's a little bit bigger, there we go, to a slotted hole that is like almost 2.5 of those holes. Already better airflow than I got out of this guy. So So let's try this on the third setting.
So when the race was over, I stayed in Japan for an extra day to see if I could find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's blowing everywhere, all across the table, and I'm blowing it out. Last but not least, the last hole. That sucker is as wide as that whole slit. So when you see that slit on yours, that's going to be your airflow on your biggest setting. Let's give that a try. Into race mode, the suspension into race mode, we put that button down to engage the launch control. Yeah, so now you can see nothing else on the market competes with this. Even everyone over at Avail will contest K-Fun Light can't even touch it. If you can, I'd love to see your video. Post it in the link below so I can see. But I mean, for a pre-made coil, this thing performs phenomenally. Its only downfall for being 0.5 ohms is my MVP won't run it. It'll only go as low as 0.8. But there's a handful of other things that will run it. Anything that will push 20 to 30 watts and anything that can accept 0.5, as low as 0.5. Or any mechanical mod, which I went with. And partly it's down to the shape of the body. It looks like a discordant mess, like Stravinsky designed it. Excellent flavor. Excellent flavor. Supreme vapor production. I mean, if I was to give it a 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, 10 being the greatest, I would give it a 10 for tanks. And even your drip tanks. If I was to compare it to a dripper, I'd give it an 8.5 or an 8 compared to a dripper, which is a big thing for a tank to be able to compete with that. So I mean, I've been able to blow 4-foot clouds with this easily, and I imagine there's some people out there that probably have better techniques that could probably blow a 5-foot cloud, which is not bad for your money. The only downfall, I tried to just dish it out to this tank, see how long it could last on these coils, because nobody at the shop knew. These tanks are pretty new. They've sold close to 30 of these already, and nobody knows yet. At that shop, at least. Bad news for me, it was about 4 to 5 days. 4 days for me, but I'm going to tell you why that doesn't count. Is I managed to drop my mod when I was at work on a concrete floor, and I managed to round it back out again. So, like I was saying, for coils, it's got an upside and a downside. Upside, it will outperform any coil you will ever buy right now. Downside, the life is not as long as most of your coils. Now, on the Kangertex, when I wasn't using a 1 ohm, I could find myself getting up to 2 weeks before tasting burnt. 3 weeks, but I was pretty much just dealing with that burnt flavor. The Nautilus, same thing, about 2 weeks, maybe even 3. Now I chain vape all the time, especially when I'm at work. So I dish it out to these coils. So for these to perform for 3 weeks is great, especially for the money. Whereas you can get most of these for, what, a 5-pack for $12 to $15 in your average vape shop. Most shops right now aren't even carrying these replacement coils. You can get them But since the shops didn't have them yet, I had to go onto eBay to get them. And here's the bad news, the other downside. On these guys, you're looking at a 5-pack for $20 shipped. Ouch. Still, you compare it to smoking, it's still a lot cheaper. I mean, I know I say it's a downside, but still at $4 a coil per week, it's not that bad. It's not as good as some others, but you got two routes you can go. You can vape like a champ, or you can spend a little less money and still get decent vapor production. Now, I'm not downing the MVP or any of the other tanks at all. They're great tanks, which is funny. I got this this mod literally 5 days before I got this. So I'll always keep this one. I mean, I love it. It's got the USB in the bottom, so I charge my phone with it. I already have done it once, and it actually charged better than the wall charger. So, but back to this guy. The Atlantis, I give it 2 thumbs up. But if you're not ready to spend $4 a coil a week, then this isn't the tank for you. But that also shouldn't be the breaking point or your deciding factor for this tank, really. I mean, it comes with 2 coils. Give it a try. I promise you, you're going to end up investing in more coils. I mean, the flavor is great on it. I haven't seen another tank that can give you that nice flavor close to what a drip can. And I'm going to be sticking with mine for a while. I mean, I carry it with me all the time, all day. It does go through juice as well. So there's kind of 3 downsides to it. Coils are expensive. Coils don't last as long. And it goes through juice. This tank, which is, I believe, 2 milliliters, I can go through in a day, easy, and have to refill. So I may smoke 3 milliliters a day on 4 milligrams. It's not bad. I have had other tanks that go by pretty quick. I mean, look at what you're getting for it. You're getting vapor production that is beyond anything that you have now. So for the money, it's worth it. I wish that they would have included a metal ring like Kanger did in the Mega, or a metal option. I'd like to see a metal option come out like they have on the Nautilus and the Nautilus Mini. But for now, I mean, this is fine. The glass is real thick. I was really afraid to have this tank on this heavy mod and me drop it. I mean, as far as this being fragile, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I dropped it big time at work. If you look at the bottom there, it is all mangled from where I've tried to just reshape it back out. Now, I mean, it works like a champ. Now, can't even tell, besides it's all mangled up. But and I've dropped it twice, or maybe even 3 times. As far as durability, this thing gets a friggin' 15 for how much glass is exposed, and my personal history with the Nautilus. So yeah. Thank you, Carrie, Artie, and Jimmy over at Avail. You guys are awesome. This has been by far my most favorite setup. This is by far, you can forget everything else on the market. Everything else you've seen anybody else review, I guarantee it. You go down to your vape shop, grab one of these, go to Avail, they'll hook you up. These right now at Avail are going for $45, which is not bad for a brand new tank that performs this well. I remember the Nautilus is 35 at Avail. So for $10 more, you're looking at a kick-ass tank that'll knock the doors off of anything else that someone has except a dripper. Yeah, you can run some old ladies out of church with this bad boy. We yelling fire, fire! But go to Vail, check these guys out. They got some of the best flavors I've ever tasted. My two favorites right now, I can't decide. Actually, yeah, I can. It's Nice. Next runner-up, since Nice isn't going to be a yearly flavor that they're going to stick to, I hope they do. I really do. But right now they've been bought out by me. And Affinity, great flavor. Flavor is Apple Jacks. Hated Apple Jacks growing up as a kid. I love it now in my vape. Come at me, son. This is a great tank. I'm telling you, I could smoke this thing all day. And I do. And Xbox, pause. Fucking technology. But if there's anything else you guys want me to comment on, anything that I can get to, just let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to make another video on tricks or techniques, vaping production techniques, anything like that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to make another one. I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope it was informational enough for you guys to make your decision. There is no decision. There's only the Atlantis tank now. There really only needs to be this tank in the store, and that's it. You can shovel all that other crap right into the trash can, unless you just ain't ready to spend that type of money. But even still, for the price, $100, you can't beat it. Actually, you can, because this wasn't 100, it was 90. But I could make this video all day long, but it's been long enough.